Hey everybody, how are you doing? In today's video, I'll be redesigning a logo, and the one that I've chosen to do for this video is to redesign the Utah State Library for the Blind and Visually Impaired logo. This is for my local state, and it provides resources like audiobooks, braille books, large print books to people who are visually impaired and blind for free. Now, the logo as it currently exists has some contrast issues, it's not super legible, and I thought this logo would be a good example to take and show you how you can make it more accessible. The main people using the website are visually impaired and blind, and then people who are helping them, such as family members, getting books. So making this logo more accessible is really important in this situation. My name is Angela, and I'm a visually impaired designer. All right, so let's get started on redesigning this logo. First, let's take a look at what it is currently. This logo has two components. There's text and then a graphic image. The text reads as the title, Utah State Library. And then the subtitle reads, Program for the Blind and Disabled. The text for the title and the subtitle use a sans serif font that is bolder. With the font being extra bold, it makes it so that there's less space for people who have a visual impairment to kind of decipher what the letters are. So we're gonna take that font, lighten it up a little bit, and make it so it's more legible. Then the second component of this logo is the graphic. Currently, the graphic looks like a book that's being fanned open, but on the right side of the book, there's a corner cut out that makes it so the book looks like the shape of the Utah borders. And so this way it's kind of clever because it looks like a book, but it also looks like Utah. I think that this is a clever way of doing it, but there's also other components of this graphic that make it complicated. So in the book graphic, each page uses a different blue, and so they have 3 different blues going on, and it doesn't make it so that it's very easy to see. They're kind of low contrast when you're looking at it. There's also some braille dots that are representing the letters USL, which is standing for the Utah State Library, the name of the organization, and only some of the braille dots are actually on the book. So U and S are on the book, but then L is outside of the book. Now, I think the use of the braille is interesting. However, it makes it feel like everything they have is braille, and also most people who are going to be using the braille books won't be able to see the logo, so I'm not sure that it's really necessary, although it does represent that it's for the blind and visually impaired. So we'll look at different options, including it and not including the braille. Before creating this video, I did some research on the organization. I also use it on a regular basis, so I'm already familiar with it. And so my next step is going to be sketching out my ideas and fleshing out what I think might work well for this logo. So I will now show you each of my ideas that I have going, and then I'll go flesh out the ones that I think are going to be the most successful. So make sure to watch till the end if you want to see what logo I end up picking in the end. Alright, so for sketch number 1, I'm going to go ahead and create a logo that's just like the existing one, but I'm going to improve the contrast in the book so that the blue is not making it hard for it to be read as a book. And then I'm going to change the type so that it's more legible. For the second sketch, I have the braille fully on the book, and I have removed the blue and made it a simple black and white logo. For the third option, I have taken the second option and removed the braille off of the book and just left it as a book with the type. For the fourth sketch, I simply just have the type. I removed the book and the braille, so it's just the title and the subtitle, no icon or image necessary. I think this could be a good option considering that people looking at it are visually impaired and blind, and it just reduces it down to the minimum of what it needs to be. For the fifth option, I've created a sketch where instead of having the shape of Utah in the book, it's just a normal book, but I made it wider so it looks more like a braille book. For sketch number 6, I have removed the book but kept the shape of Utah and put the braille inside the shape of Utah, reading USL. For sketch number 7, I have made it so that it is just the braille with no book or shape of Utah. And then that will just go next to the text of the title. And for the last one, sketch number 8, I've created it so that the Braille is inside the letters USL. All right, so starting out, I've already created the graphic for the book as it currently exists. So I can now go ahead and change it and modify it how I want to. So now we're gonna go ahead and make the graphic smaller so we have space to put the name next to it. I'm making this in Illustrator if you're curious. This is my favorite place to make logos and it makes the most sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the text, Utah State Library. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put in the subtitle as well, Program for the Blind and Disabled. I already know that I want the title to be bigger than this subtitle, so I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the title uppercase instead of making it title case. For this video, I think I'm gonna choose Open Sans for the font because it's a nice sans serif font that's easy to read and is just simple. All right, so I've gone ahead and made the subtitle a little bit smaller so that the title Utah State Library can stand out more. Now that I have the base of my logo, I'm gonna go ahead and play around and see what I can come up with. So I changed the color of the book, I changed how the book was arranged and tried some of the things in my sketches. I tried doing a lighter beige color so it looked more like Braille paper. And then I went ahead and tried to make it so that the Braille was fully on the book. I pulled in the blue color and made the Utah shape the blue color from their existing logo. Then I tried several iterations of the Braille being inside just the Utah shape without the book. I wanted to make sure that I had high enough contrast when it came to being able to read the Braille dots and see the Utah shape. Then I tried a couple with just the Braille dots being the logo, and then I eventually tried doing where the dots were over or under the letters USL. All right, so for the fun part, let's look at all the logos and eliminate them. First, we have number 1. I eliminated it because I didn't think it was working very well. It was very complex visually, and I didn't like that. Number 2 was a little bit more simple, so I kept that as an option. Number 3, I really like the simplicity of just the text. Number 4, I didn't think that it was working very well again. And then if we move down and look at 6 through 10, with the iterations with the Braille being inside the Utah shape, I like the ones that had higher contrast, and so I eliminated a couple of those from that. And then I eliminated the black on the white, even though I really like it because it made it more of an emphasis than the text, which I wanted the text to be the main emphasis. Then I eliminated the one with the dots being on the USL that was in front because it was distracting. It made it less legible to read. So now I have it narrowed down to 6 different logos. I went ahead and kept eliminating. I then got rid of the number 2 and number 5 because of the visual complexity. Once again, I decided I didn't like the book overall. I got rid of number 10 because once again, like the black one, the dark blue was standing out more than the text was. Number 14 with the Braille dots on the USL, I really actually kind of like. However, I think that it defeats the point of trying to make a logo accessible because it does obstruct being able to read it. So this leaves me to my final top 2 being number 3, that's just the text, and number 8 with the Braille inside of the Utah shape, and it's just the black and white outline. And I think it looks nice. I think this could work together, or they could also work separately. And I think if they want a graphic, then number 8 works well, but 3 is just great if they don't care about that. I'm curious to know which ones you think is best, so let me know what number you think you would have picked if you were the one deciding which one was the final logo. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it educational and also entertaining. Comment below what logo you think that I should redesign next. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel below, and turn on the notification bell so you can hear about future videos that I put out. I put videos out every Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning, Mountain Standard Time. I hope that you all have a fantastic week. Bye!